share my story with you today on how social media has had a positive impact in my life. But before we begin, I'm going to get you all warmed up with a cheeky little poem, and it goes a little bit like this. Like a lion in a cage, my heart pumps, blood rages, ambition at the centre of my game. To conquer and defeat are my aims. Trapped inside, still attached to my past, yet I pursue whilst others laugh. I'm a champion, raised to win, with the power in my bones and the voices within. I can, I will, I must. In this game, it's down to trust. To win is a must. For those who see no hope, I aspire to inspire when it's tough and they feel the rope. From darkness to light, I don't just do this for me. There ain't no might. I will conquer, I will fight. My enemies will fall as I take flight. You see, I'm dangerous, I'm crazy, I'm a champion. It's how God made me. So I hope you enjoyed that little starter. And all I want you to do is get involved with the next part of my journey. And that next part of my journey is my story. And it starts at the beginning. It starts with primary school. So primary school for me was a bit of a bad place because I got picked on, I was bullied, and it wasn't the best of situations for me because they had a teacher say to me that I was never going to be successful in life. So when I got into high school, I saw it as an opportunity to reinvent myself, to become a better version of me. So what I was doing, I was trying to be like everybody else. I wasn't being me. So when I started being myself, I realised I had the potential and qualities of a winner. So I knocked on the maths doors and I said to the maths teacher, I said, please, can you help me with my maths? Because I was struggling with maths and it was something that I was really weak at. So the teacher said to me, no, until I got a yeah. And that's when I learned my first valuable lesson in life, persistence. And then from there, I ended up training with the maths teacher on my maths like Rocky Balboa. I was punching left, I was punching right, I was really trying to take my maths to a good level. But the teacher said to me, there might be something wrong, Jack. You might have dyslexia. So from there, I ended up trying to get the best GCSE I could in maths, and I got a D. But D stood for determination in my eyes, because I tried my hardest and kept going, and that's the best I could get. So what happened was, the next part of my journey, the careers advisor came in, and the careers advisor said to me, Jack, due to your circumstances and your situation, it's unrealistic for you to be an author, a writer, a creative person and work in the creative industry. But I said to her in response, I said, Miss, it's unrealistic to walk into a room, flick a switch and a light to come on. Unfortunately, Thomas Edison didn't think so. I said, it's unrealistic, Miss, to fly across to another country, but fortunately the Wright brothers didn't think so. So you can imagine how that conversation went down. And from there, I scraped my way into college. And then at college, I came out with some of the best grades I could possibly get that landed me the opportunity to get an unconditional offer at Salford University. Now this is where my story gets a little bit more interesting. I was working in television at the time, and I was trying my best to fulfill my dreams. I was working with people like Lorraine Keller, Amir Khan, just to name a few. And it was a really exciting opportunity for me. I was becoming the best version of myself, so I thought, and I was living my dreams, and on the outside, everything seemed perfect. But on the inside, I was deteriorating, I was falling apart, I was breaking down as a person. And that was because at university I was suffering with stresses from university pressures, family pressures, friend pressures, toxic relationships, self-conflict, and a lot of things inside that was breaking me down. So I had a mental health crash, and I got whizzed to hospital. And when I got whizzed to hospital, I ended up getting very, very unwell. I ended up having a psychosis breakdown. So what happened was, it got a little bit scary, a little bit like The Matrix or Alice in Wonderland, the way my experience felt. And the further I went down the rabbit hole, the harder it was to get back out of that rabbit hole. So whilst I was in that hospital, I got told to take a blue pill. I thought I'd died and gone to heaven. That's how serious my situation was. But whilst I was in there, I was saying to people who didn't want to be here that you can become anything you want in life, anything you want to be, no matter what your circumstances are, you can become whatever it is that you want. And that's what I was saying to those people who was in a dark place, even though I was unwell myself. But then reality hit me where I was when I heard a phone call of somebody who was a patient in there shouting down the phone these words, "I'm in a mental asylum." When I heard him say that, the penny dropped for me, and I woke up and I realised where I was, that I wasn't in Alice in Wonderland anymore. I phoned my parents and I said to them, "Why have you put me in here?" As tears streamed down my face. And as tears streamed down my face, I got really upset, and the next day my parents came to see me and explained to me the situation of what had happened. So they was preparing my parents for the worst, saying that I could have been in there for at least a year. But 19 days later, I proved the doctors wrong and got myself out there, got myself back on track. But life decided to throw another curveball at me. I ended up having a relationship breakdown of 5 years. And when you go through a breakdown in a relationship, it hurts, it affects you mentally. Even when I had a broken mind and a broken heart at the same time, I was really feeling it. But what happened from there was, I had to give myself a positive purpose to get back in the race, to get back into my life. And from there, I ended up deciding that I was going to get my book published. Now you can imagine 2 years it was sat on the shelf collecting dust and negative feedback from different publishers until I made a decision that I was going to make it get published. My mindset changed, but the product stayed the same. So the shift happened in my mind and I got laser focused on what I wanted. So I picked up the phone and I said to the publisher, I said, "My name's Jack Nolan. I said, I'm going to send you a few chapters and we'll see how it goes." Each week we had a battle, week after week for 5 weeks. I was selling them on the idea and the dream of getting my book published. 3 months later, we had a book launch and we sold over 100 books in one night. It was an amazing experience and I felt like I was getting my success back and I felt like I was rebuilding my life. And then things got more exciting. I started documenting my journey online through social media, through platforms like Instagram, Facebook, and all the other platforms like Snapchat. I was documenting my journey online, literally getting the phone like this and saying, "Hi, my name's Jack Nolan. You can become anything you want and this is my story." And from there, people started to connect with me all around the world. So people from America, China, Russia, all started sending me positive messages and I started to get really excited about it and I really started to believe in myself once again. And then from there, I ended up getting opportunities to get like pieces of my work out there. So from that experience, I started to really try to build You Can Become into something special. I tried to get in schools, tried to get in businesses, to really share my message and my impact and my story to help change some more people's lives. So from there, as I was building You Can Become into something special, I had a second breakdown and life threw another curveball at me. It hit me on the blind side. I had a manic episode, and this manic episode was another scary situation to be in. But when I got whizzed into hospital, I went back to my old roots. I started helping people. I started helping people in there through buying chocolate bars, giving them my books, giving them my YCB materials and content. Even though I was in a bad place myself, I seen other people in worse situations to me, and I really tried to make an impact on their lives, to really help change their lives. So a month later, I got out of that hospital, and I thought, I can't believe it, I've got to rebuild myself from scratch all over again. So what I did was, I gave myself a second purpose. I started writing my second book. And when I finished that second book, I ended up finding a place called 42nd Street. Now 42nd Street was an amazing experience for me because it gave me the opportunity to rebuild my confidence, be in opportunities like here today, and to share my story with more people and rebuild myself as a human being. I got confidence, I got new friends, and I even got to get on with everybody there at 42nd Street. It feels like I'm part of the family, even though at the bottom of it, I'd like to see myself as one day being a part of it, maybe one day in the future. But when all these positive things started to happen for me, I realised that I was going to be okay, and I was going to be alright, and I was going to keep pursuing my dreams and pursuing myself to become a better version of myself. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to wrap up now with another little poem, and it goes a little bit like this. Ba ba, black sheep, give me one lion instead of 10 sheep. Find somebody greater than me, so I can become, if not greater than. Because to fulfill in this life, I must become a man. I'm not a man yet, but a leader of many. I stand before you as a king in my self-created kingdom, with each brick a new milestone. But it doesn't stop the sand from crumbling the stone. I lay many, each pound down to each penny. I invest in myself and others so I can be at my best. Becoming a man now, hairs on my chest. You may defeat me when I'm not at my best, but back to that drawing board, closed eyes with some rest. Behind me I look, and I'm in front of the rest. Bar, bar, black sheep, give me one lion, instead cowering sheep. So, what we're about to do next is an activity. And an activity where I share 3 positive things with you in my life. So my 3 positive things in my life is that I got my book published, the support of my family, and being here today for opportunities like this. So what I'd like you all to do is, there's a piece of paper in front of you, an A4 piece of paper, and I'd like you to write down 3 positive things in your life. And then I'll explain to you after it why we're doing this task. Would anybody else like to share?
Yeah, so my outlet, yours is right, mine's making music, so that's one thing. So number 1 is making music as a creative outlet. Friends and family, number 2, and peace and happiness.
That's brilliant. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else in the group? No. Okay, no worries. So the reason why I've got you to do that task is because we are the stories we tell ourselves. And if we tell ourselves a positive story, we'll live a positive life, whether that be online or offline. It doesn't matter at all what your situation is, because if you live in a positive life, you'll have a positive impact on the world. Thank you for that. If any of you guys would like to connect with me at the break, like to chat to me about anything you'd like to ask me questions, or if any of you would like to give me any more opportunity to speak, please feel free to get in contact. Thank you.